Hello there, and thank you for joining us today. We are discussing our flower of the month for April, which is the Daffodil and Narcissi. Now they're known by several different names, Daffodil, daffodils, jonquils, narcissi, but they are actually all from the same genus. I've got a little bit of an example here today to show you various varieties that we can get. Your quintessential daffodil, the one that you're most familiar with, is this one, which is English grown. These are, everybody would associate these as being the daffodil. They have 6 petals and that beautiful sort of bell-shaped centre. They really inspire the feeling of spring, sort of new beginnings, rebirth and what have you. And it's so lovely to see them in the garden because it actually makes you think we have got better weather around the corner. So these English ones, these are outdoor grown ones. They come in boxes, as you can see here, quite short. They're what we call spikes when they arrive, as probably it's easy to see why. They are just a single spike. They can be stored in that dry state for several days, which holds them back and stops them from developing. Once you cut them and pop them into water, they will open up quite quickly, as you can see by these beautiful ones here. Now I'm just going to try and illustrate to you. When you do cut them, what you will find, I don't know if you can see, if I just touch that, you can see they ooze this awful sap. Don't know if you can actually see that on my fingers there. So if you then put that directly into a vase with other flowers, they're actually poisonous, so it's actually going to be detrimental to the rest of the flowers in your vase. So don't do that. If you cut them and condition them and put them into a vase for up to 24 hours, like I have done with these, you will find that the sap is no longer oozing from the bottom of the stems. You can then place them into a vase with other flowers and there will be no harm done to the other ones. Okay, so they do just need a good cut and condition for sort of 12-24 hours before the sap will stop flowing, for want of a better word. Okay, so that's your English daffodils. As I say, they're sort of your quintessential daff. I would anticipate that you get between 3 and 6 days vase life from daffodils. Obviously that is dependent on the ambient temperatures. Obviously the cooler the room, the less time it will take for them to fully open and develop, so the longer you'll have. If they're in a much warmer room, they'll open up very, very quickly. So you get sort of 3-4 days possibly. Okay, so there are other varieties of daffodil, which most people would probably tend to refer to as narcissi. I have some beautiful varieties here to show you. These are actually Dutch grown. They do have a much longer stem, as you can see. If I compare those with the outdoor grown daffodils, you can see they're double the length. So if you've got something where a long stem is actually necessary, then perhaps going for the Dutch grown ones are going to give you that little bit more height architecture, depending on the arrangement you're creating. Now the varieties that I have here are, so this one is how it arrives. This one's actually called Pink Paradise. This opens up to this rather beautiful double narcissi here, as you can see, really attractive, and it has a fantastic fragrance. So that's Pink Paradise. So that's 3 days development from this, just to give you a bit of an indication on how long it takes. So that's Pink Paradise. This one is called Ziva. You might also know it as Paper White. Very strongly fragranced and multi-headed. As you can see, that's got, what's it got on it? 3, 6, 7 little blooms on that one. And when they arrive, they tend to come in slightly tighter than that. I'm trying to find one with some buds on. You can see how they arrive with a few buds and a few open blooms. They always come with some flower showing. So if you're using it for an event on a Saturday, I would say delivery of these on Wednesday would be perfectly adequate. more than enough time to get them open. So the next one, this one's called Silver Chimes. This is an absolutely beautiful narcissi. Again, these come with a small amount of colour developing on them, but they'll mostly come in bud form like this, as you can see, so not really showing much colour at all. They would probably need slightly more time to develop than the paper whites or the Ziva would. So that one's called Silver Chimes, and it's probably as whiter narcissus after the Ziva that you're going to get. Last but by no means least are the Soleadors. These really do signify bright spring, rebirth, new beginnings. Yeah, really exciting when you see these start to arrive, because you start to think, oh, the weather's going to get better. Probably the strongest fragrance out of all of the narcissi. Some people find it a little bit overpowering actually, but yeah, definitely a fragrant one, that one. They do all come with a certain amount of foliage, the Dutch ones, as opposed to the English that don't come with any foliage at all. Now you can use the foliage for arrangements. You can just pop those into the vases as well, just to give a little bit extra emphasis, or you can make loops from them, wire them, and then pop them into oasis just to extend the arrangement that you're making. Okay, so some more facts about daffodil. They're the English variety, or the Carlton, your sort of quintessential daffodil here. It's also known as Lent Lily. It has an association with Easter. Traditionally, daffodils were put into church after Lent to signify the new beginning, new birth, and to emphasise the coming of spring. So yeah, that's Lent Lily. They're also the national symbol of Wales. It has been said that a presentation of a single daffodil in China does indicate a little bit of bad luck, so try and give a bunch rather than a single one. They are the 10th wedding anniversary flower. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed our daffodil. Well, I love daffodils, really. They are one of my favourite flowers. I think they inspire you because they make you think that the new weather is coming, spring is around the corner, the better, brighter days are coming. Yeah, so new beginnings for the daffodils as far as I'm concerned. So don't forget to like us. You can comment below. Don't forget to hit that share button in the right hand corner. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us today, and have a very happy April.